All right, let's take this caller. Caller, you're live on the air. What's your name, comment, and or question?
Is it me?
That's you. You are live on the air, my friend. What's your name?
Hey, Ben. It's Jade Brown.
Hey, how's it going, Jay? What's on your mind?
Do you think it was a mistake for Bernie to run within the Democratic Party? And do you think is there an argument to convince people, other progressives, if this attack of neoliberalism is true, then should we get out of the Democratic Party and not get sucked into this? Or I guess, what are your thoughts on that?
That's actually a very good question. Thanks so much for that question. So here's the problem, Jay. The problem, and let me take this one off air so I can get these next few calls. The problem is that there is, yeah, not that. There is no panacea. There is no party that has this right. And let me explain what I mean. Yesterday, my sister Anoa, she did a show with the presidential candidate from the Green Party, an African-American woman who quite honestly, I don't know if anyone knew that there were other candidates besides Jill Stein. And it spoke volumes to the same, and this is what Anoa and in the conversation yesterday, this is exactly the same sense of inevitability that we see with Hillary Clinton in the Democratic Party being used in the Green Party. And so I only bring that up because a lot of people feel as though the Green Party is the great savior of American politics, when in actuality, they suffer from the same exact problems as any other political party. Now, to answer your question more directly, you said, do I feel that Bernie Sanders made a mistake by running in the Democratic Party? No, I think he made a mistake of running in the Democratic Party like he was a Democrat, or like he could win the same way every other Democratic won. I think if he ran the entire campaign as a guerrilla-styled Democrat, as a person going after a brand new coalition, as a person building a brand new coalition versus trying to win over the previous coalition, then he probably would have won. If I think that was his only mistake. I think that he tried to win over an existing coalition that was forged in the fires of neoliberalism. In terms of what do you do in the future, some difficult times ahead, in my opinion. I think there's some difficult decisions that people are going to have to make coming up. Whether their decision is to vote for Trump, whether the decision is to vote for Clinton, whether the decision is to stay at home, write in Bernie, write in to support Jill Stein. There's a lot of difficult decisions that are going to probably cause a lot of progressives to become disillusioned. And the question is, how long will you stay disillusioned? And how long will it take for you to get back up and to start organizing now? That's the question. And that's the because I think that's the only quite literally the only way that we will be able to keep and here's the thing. I think people, there are progressives left in the Democratic Party. Let me start there. There are progressives left in the Democratic Party who have found themselves having to acquiesce to the power structure that surrounds them or be marginalized, right? And so the question is, what are they going to do? And where are they? And do we need to, can we find them or do we replace them? Do we need to, if they are not willing to stand up and fight for their values, then what good are they to the progressive movement? And so the only way any progress will be made is if we start organizing now for the purposes of future elections for the sake of progressivism, because it is right and proper in an environment that has rabidly conservative ideologies being expressed on a national level. It is only right and proper to have progressive values expressed on a national level. And do you realize that for many years, we never had conversations about wealth disparity, income inequality? Up until about 2010, there was not a single conversation of any substance on a national level about what we are discussing now. And all we had in front of us was either the rabid right or the neoliberal center, without any balance from, and I'm speaking on in terms of economic policies, clearly, but without that balance, we grew up in a generation where we didn't know the difference. And we had a lot of people grow up into this where they don't believe that there's actually any other paradigm that we could even consider in America, because the window of discussion and discourse was pushed so narrow into the confines of what Republicans accepted and what third-way Democrats accepted, that we completely left off an entire end of the spectrum. And it's only fitting and proper that progressive voices are represented on a national level. And the only question is, who's going to do the representation? Who's going to get out there and fight for it?